you're going through anything like this, I would say get out there. Get out there and do something. You need to do something. You can't just sit at home and just feel bad. You can't do it. It's really not going to work out that well for you. You're going to go into like this never-ending cycle of feeling depressed, feeling sad, just not wanting to even live anymore. It just sucks. So don't get yourself into that. Don't do it. And my friend Chris really helped me out with that. We started hanging out every day, and what was even better about this was Chris had a really good friend named Nick, and I had met Nick a couple times before, and at that point in time I really didn't know what to say to him because Nick, he was in a house fire when he was a teenager and had, I believe, 95% of his body burned. The only part of him that was not burned was the backs of his hands and that area there. So, but yeah, Nick used to come over to Chris's house when I was hanging out with him, and he was really nice about it. He was kind of like, he taught me that it was okay to be disabled. It was okay to be what happened, that it's fine. And you can still be the same person, and you can still have the same friends, and that was really amazing. And you know what, like, I kind of felt really bad about it because, like, here I am, oh, I only just lost my arm, that's it. And here's him talking to me having, like, all this going on. I shouldn't really, I don't know, I never asked his permission to talk about him, so I don't know, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind. But, yeah, so to me it was kind of like, you know, who am I to complain about what happened to me when he's had something worse happen to him? But he was still so nice about it. Like, it didn't matter to him. He came over Chris's house constantly just to talk to me because he knew what it felt like. And I thought that was the greatest thing in the world because it really, really helped to have someone else that knew what it was like to be there and to be through it. And even though I did not compare to him at all, he still never made it seem like I was, like, saying, oh, I'm worse than you, or anything like that. We never talked about, like, oh, I'm one up on you, you know, one of those things. So, and because of that, whenever somebody tells me, like, oh, you know, I understand you lost an arm, I understand, I broke my arm, like, just a couple years ago, and I had to have that thing in a cast for 6 months. I know exactly what it's like not to have an arm. And normally I'd be like, okay, alright, but, you know, I figure to each their own. To each their own. Everyone has their own different type of pain tolerance. Everyone has their own different story. Everyone has their own different way of looking at things. And you know what? If you live a certain life and you go through something that might be extremely dramatic and life-changing to you, might be just nothing to someone else. It's all relative. It just depends on who you are and what your life is like. So I completely understand when other people say that they understand because of this and they understand because of that, and oh, they've been through this, and oh, they have a friend who has lost a leg or something. Like, okay, that's fine. Alright, I get it. What I've come to find out is that people don't really care if you're missing an arm or a leg or you're burned or you have some other type of physical flaw. They still honestly care about you. That's definitely true for your friends and family, at least. I've had more people try to get back in touch with me once I lost my arm than I did any time prior after I graduated high school, which kind of pissed me off because why wouldn't you want to get in contact with me anyway? Why wait until like a major life changing incident happens? So, I mean, but it is true that your friends and family won't care, and most people you encounter aren't going to mind either.